Toji Fushiguro is a badass lightning-fast assassin from the manga and anime Jujutsu Kaisen, and he's got one of the most realistically attainable anime physiques out there. I'm Paris Demers, a personal trainer with over a decade of experience in the fitness industry, and in this video, I'll be telling you exactly how Toji would need to train in real life to develop his deadly speed, bone-shattering explosive power, and of course, his jacked body. And then I'll be using all that information to build you a full free athletic bodybuilding plan so you can get ripped and perform like Toji Fushiguro yourself. But first, for the rest of this video to make sense, I'm going to need to give you a little bit of context on who Toji is and what his place is in the Jujutsu Kaisen world. Toji Fushiguro was born into the Zenin clan, which is one of the three major sorcerer clans in the world of Jujutsu Kaisen. But despite being born into a clan known for their cursed techniques, Toji was born with a heavenly restriction, which meant that he had zero cursed energy in his body. And that means he would never be able to perform any of the cursed techniques that the Zenins were famous for. This caused Toji to be hated and shunned by his clan as he grew older. Now, this would have been the end of his story right here, if it wasn't for one thing. The very same heavenly restriction, which caused him to be born without any cursed energy, also bestowed him with a near superhuman body, which he was able to put to use, earning his title of the Sorcerer Killer, after leaving the Zenin clan behind to become a deadly assassin. Through his years of hunting down and killing sorcerers, using nothing but his sheer physical prowess, some cursed tools he picked up along the way, and his tactical mind, he was able to build up his body to the Greek statue levels that we see in Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2. Okay, now that we understand who Toji Fushiguro is, we're going to need to analyze his physique and fighting style in order to figure out how he would train in real life and how you should be training if you want to look and perform just like him. Toji has a muscular, athletic build with a really great V-taper. This means he has wide shoulders and a small waist, and his fighting style is one that relies heavily on his lightning-fast speed and incredible explosive power. You can see him here using his explosive leg drive to dart from tree to tree in order to leave his opponent guessing of where he might attack from. Then once it comes time for Toji to strike, he has a few different weapons at his disposal, like the split soul katana, which cuts directly into the soul of his target. The inverted spear of heaven, which can cancel out any cursed techniques it comes in contact with. Also the chain of 1,000 miles, which is a chain that can infinitely extend as long as one of its ends stay hidden. And we can't forget about his most mysterious, magical, and iconic weapon, a Glock. One of the standout aspects of Toji's fighting style is his ability to generate incredible force through rotational movements. When he swings a sword, hurls a dagger, or even lands a punch or kick, he's not just using the strength in his arms or in his legs. He's using all of his musculature to produce a single, well-orchestrated rotational attack in the transverse plane. Many traditional exercises, such as your regular bench press or squat, predominantly exist in the sagittal or frontal planes, meaning they just have you moving forward and back and side to side. But in the world of combat, being a master of the transverse plane, where all rotational movements take place, is key. Every time someone swings a sword, throws a kick, or throws a punch, that's all happening through the transverse plane. And exercises like landmine rotations, lateral medball throws, and landmine punches simulate and amplify this exact twisting force that happens in the transverse plane. Now, you might be wondering why a real-life Toji, who's already practicing and fighting with his actual weapon so frequently, would have to add these gym moves to his routine. Well, consider pro fighters. Yes, sparring is essential, and they spend a lot of their time fighting, but they still find time to invest in the gym for proper strength and conditioning. Why is that? Because training specific movements in the gym brings out enhanced results in combat. You can throw a punch a million times and it will get stronger, but by overloading that movement pattern with something like a landmine punch, you'll be able to develop a lot more explosive power through that movement pattern. By using specific movements in the gym, you can really increase your power and endurance in specific movement patterns that you can then put together by practicing real combat. So by training with his weapons, Toji would improve his technique and strategy. But by using gym-specific moves, he'd be able to dial in his power, endurance, and increase his injury resistance. And this combination would prove to be lethal, making sure that anytime Toji strikes, it's not just precise, but also devastatingly powerful. If you guys are liking the video and want me to do one on how the massive guts from Berserk would train in real life, then like the video, subscribe, and comment guts down below. Now, another key aspect of Toji's real life training would absolutely have to be lower body power training. Remember that clip of him darting from tree to tree with lightning fast speed? That's his explosive leg drive in action. While regular running would develop his stamina, Toji would need exercises that develop his explosive leg drive that give him the ability to quickly change directions and transition from defense to offense in a split second. This is where movements like power cleans, broad jumps, kettlebell swings, and high-intensity sprints all come into play. By using these types of movements, Toji would be engaging his fast-twitch muscle fibers, and he would be facilitating the type of neuromuscular adaptations that allow his muscles to fire with more power. Doing these exercises would ensure that every time Toji moves, he's a blur. They would amplify his speed and agility, making sure that by the time his opponents see him, it's already too late. Now, while these movements we've discussed so far are excellent for enhancing combat abilities and explosive power and speed, performing a training plan solely built with the goal of athletic performance in mind will not be enough to build you a body as muscular as Toji's. This is because this type of explosive athletic training misses a few essential elements necessary to build muscle optimally. One of the main ones has to do with mechanical tension. This is the force that is produced when a muscle contracts, and the resistance that it experiences when it's being stretched. This mechanical tension is one of the primary drivers of muscle growth. And while explosive training does create a large amount of mechanical tension, it's only created for a short moment and only across a small amount of the muscle's total range of motion. In contrast, traditional weightlifting exercises keep the muscle under a larger amount of mechanical tension for a longer period of time while also moving through a much larger, deeper range of motion, which are all things that are hugely important when it comes to stimulating muscle growth. In fact, we know from studies such as these that the most effective part of any movement when it comes to building muscle is the deep stretch that you get as the target muscle fully lengthens under tension. This is known as the eccentric portion of the movement. This is what you're feeling when your chest stretches at the bottom of a dumbbell chest press, your hamstring stretch at the bottom of a Romanian deadlift, tricep stretch as you lower your arm during an overhead tricep extension. And this controlled eccentric, which is so powerful for muscle building, is something that is completely missing during explosive training. And that's for good reason, because when we're trying to train for explosive power, the emphasis really needs to be put on the concentric, which is the shortening phase of the muscle contraction. And another big thing that limits the muscle building benefits of explosive training is because of the intensity and demanding nature of training for explosive power, it's difficult to get enough training volume across the week to actually build a significant amount of muscle. Now, stimulating muscle growth is just half the battle. If you don't give your body the proper resources to fuel your training and repair your muscles afterwards, allowing them to grow, you're going to end up going nowhere fast. This is why I encourage everyone that's serious about transforming their bodies to track their calorie and macronutrient intake. Once I personally started consistently tracking my diet, that's when I got into the best shape of my life. Now, some people feel like tracking their calories is too much work, but what sounds like more work to you? Spending 20 minutes a day tracking your calories for 3 to 6 months and getting completely ripped, or spending 1 year trying to lose the same 5 pounds and failing because you have no idea how many calories, proteins, fats, and carbs are going into your body each day. That's why you need to download the best calorie and macro tracking app on the market, MacroFactor. MacroFactor isn't just a place to track your diet. It's a digital diet coach that'll take your personal stats and create for you a personalized plan that will get you looking like Toji as quickly as possible, or as close as your genetics will allow. And the best part is that MacroFactor will continuously adjust and update this plan as your body weight changes to make sure that you're consistently seeing great results. Download MacroFactor today using the link in the description of this video, and make sure to use code DEMERCE to get your first 2 weeks free, and so they know that I sent you. Now back to Toji. So since explosive training alone won't be enough to develop a body like Toji's, we're going to have to round out the program with some movements that are more well suited to stimulating muscle growth. These are things like weighted pull-ups to really stretch those lats and build a wide, thick back, deep range of motion incline dumbbell press to build the shoulders and upper pecs, ass to grass squats to build some tree trunk legs that could even overwhelm Gojo himself, heavy barbell bicep curls to build those guns, and lots more that you can find included